To the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today, as usual. So wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. I had to start with this from the XRP captive before we discuss XRP. Banks will link to the Ripple network in the same way that they link to Swift. There are always some who say that these banks will never adopt RippleNet technology. It's really too difficult. It may surprise you to learn that banks can join the Ripple system in as little as 3 weeks. And the future is like this. Either the banks handle these payments, which take 3 to 5 business days, or they continue to use the Swift system. Alternatively, they enter the digital era with products like XRP and RippleNet, which offer on-demand liquidity, real-time settlement, and immediate payments. Failure to adopt this will result in any bank falling behind. Smoke is the source of this. Ripple serves as a central bank at the same time. Ripple is constantly beginning to resemble a bank. Imagine RLUSD as the digital currency and Ripple as the Fed's replacement. I already believe we're headed in that direction. I believe that Trump will let Powell to serve out his remaining years in 2026, but I also believe that the Fed will take some action. Really, he's telling him, come on, I don't think this is a good time to cut rates, he said. You know, cryptocurrency is going to take off the moment the Fed lowers interest rates. Even the stock market will begin to rise sharply, but the Fed will continue to inflate while feigning to combat it. So then they present these enchanted figures to the public. Well, we managed to bring inflation down to 2%. Where then? Because guess what? Food prices haven't altered and gas prices are still around the same. Although I've been saying this for a while, I believe it's time for us to change things up. Ripple is beginning to resemble a central bank. This is from 2018's Black Swan Capitalist. XRP was more than just the second biggest cryptocurrency. According to reports, it was the most valuable in terms of institutional adoption and real-world utility. While it was still being embraced worldwide, the lawsuit, delistings, and smear attempts followed. That ought to tell you everything. You know, despite being delisted on all of the big exchanges, save Uphold and a few others, XRP didn't even drop out of the top 10. You genuinely believe that XRP can't flip Bitcoin? It certainly is. This institutional acceptance is happening and will happen soon. During this run, I anticipate the flippening to occur. Eleanor Torre is the source of this. It's critical time for crypto on the hill, new from me. Stable coins on market structure. In the deadline, in August. In the House, focus switches to the market framework. The 104th industry meeting is held by the SEC governor. Additionally, Washington travels to Vegas to attend the Bitcoin convention. As I already stated, they will not push this day. The president will meet this target in August. He wants laws governing cryptocurrencies in order for the US to emerge as the global center of cryptocurrency. Additionally, I believe that the stablecoin bill will be passed soon. It is highly probable that they will make a lot of efforts to get that approved, perhaps in the next several days. It's thrilling to see this unfold. I am aware that many people in the cryptocurrency space believe that restrictions are unnecessary and that they are okay with the current state of the industry. The issue is that without laws, institutional or mass acceptance is impossible. Tom Lee is the source of this. This is from Tom Lee, the governor of XRP. XRP might go beyond all predictions. We are discussing previously unheard of gains. It's more than just a rally. A financial earthquake could occur. Let me now demonstrate how Tom Lee discussed XRP in 2018. Listen to it. Since Bitcoin is the most popular cryptocurrency, you always bring it up to me. Do other cryptocurrencies function properly when Bitcoin does not? One of the reasons that I believe is that it's a safer sanctuary than Bitcoin. Yes, Andrew, I believe. You said in passing that this controversial hard fork in Bitcoin Cash has been a part of the cryptocurrency's identity. This is demonstrated by the fact that some of these bigger alts like XRP have fared very well. In light of the fact that Bitcoin is genuinely beginning to gain traction, referring to it as an alt is equivalent to saying that it is an alternative to Bitcoin. Indeed, and he refers to it as XRP, a token that is actually used for settlements, you know, cross-border settlements, but it has held up pretty well. That was back in 2018 when XRP had its significant run up to an all-time high that we're still waiting for XRP to break again. And he doesn't refer to it as Ripple XRP or Ripple. However, he is now claiming that this will be a huge rally. And I believe he is correct. Everything is falling into place. This is going to be the most insane cycle for XRP that we have ever witnessed. I promise you. Do you believe that 2017, 2018 was significant? This is going to be considerably more significant, in my opinion. I believe that when many individuals consider XRP, their thoughts are far too narrow. Eleanor Turret is also responsible for this. Until A Red Bird clarified it, I didn't understand why criminals are apparently so stupid as to use blockchain to steal money, considering how much of it can be tracked. Being able to learn from our amazing guests is one of my favorite things about our Crypto America pod. Listen to his thoughts on the use of blockchain technology for illicit purposes. You inquire about things like blockchain's transparency. This is how they actually were. You discuss Les Miserables. Javert, Jean Valjean, spent years tracing money across blockchains, employing various methods of obfuscation, hiding in darknet markets, utilizing privacy coins and mixers, and doing everything they could to avoid detection. Why? Because they were sitting there in New York City and had the potential to be arrested, which they eventually did. We found out North Korea is a whole other situation. They are merely attempting to transfer money as quickly as possible to off-ramps for use, even though they are aware that the blockchain is transparent, and they simply accept it as part of the cost of doing business. When we are able to cooperate with law enforcement to recover money, no matter how much it is, that, in my opinion, is the crypto paradox. It's a little dishonest, in my opinion, and I've been guilty of it myself since we can see every transaction. I've been out there all the time saying things like, hey, you know, bad guys should never use crypto. In actuality, though, they are also able to transfer money more quickly and in greater quantities, and for that reason, we must just keep improving at what we do. Put differently, they have no interest in utilizing the blockchain because it speeds up asset transfers, and it's the price of doing business if they are occasionally caught. Because I myself never comprehended that. Why would you ever steal money using blockchain, I wonder, since everything is monitored and traced? Why not just pay with money? The reason why people use it is now clear to us. And it's not only, but they will eventually, you know, for example, most of the time you have something like blockchain, which is completely transparent, but it takes a little while for law enforcement to catch up. If you're stealing money, they'll catch you in a matter of seconds, as opposed to now. World champion Conor McGregor asks, but the government plans to purchase ADA and XRP Sol. Tell me what you think. After considering purchasing Bitcoin, he began researching XRP, Solana, and ADA. Additionally, he discovered that not all blockchains are truly decentralized. As a result of this week's occurrences, who informed him that ADA, Solana, and XRP are centralized, I wonder? Because in my perspective, ETH cannot even be used in the same phrase as decentralized. Furthermore, the majority of Bitcoin is first regulated by China, as you may know. I hope Conor McGregor discovers what XRP is before it's too late. It is decentralized due to XRP, and this is their issue with XRP. It frightens the maxis. They are aware of its potential. It only takes a few seconds for XRP to transfer money. Bitcoin, in addition to being incredibly costly, it takes a long time. Bitcoin and XRP are not in competition with one another. What do you believe will be widely adopted? You can do anything in the same way that you would with cash, a debit card or a credit card. That's my perspective on it. They talk of destroying the dollar at Bitcoin Las Vegas. We discuss strengthening it and replacing the petrodollar system at XRP Las Vegas. Check out what Max Kaiser accomplished in 2019. This is the true mindset of all Bitcoin maxis. Now, let me explain something to you. All right, here is a $10.00 note. This is trash. This is trash. You have your RAN, you South Africans, correct? That will go to zero. That will go to zero. This will also go to zero. There will be no more euros. The yen will drop to zero. The value of the Chinese yuan will drop to zero. All of this will work against Bitcoin. When you place something against the US dollar, you know immediately that the US government will never adopt that kind of item. And this is their story. From the beginning, this has been other story. The banks were to be replaced with Bitcoin. The dollar will be replaced by individuals will be forced to use Bitcoin for transactions. This is the issue. They may use XRP or something similar to support the US dollar. By employing something like RLUSD and subsequently transferring it globally, they could even fortify the dollar using